History remembers Napoleon Bonaparte as a military genius. A conqueror. A man who reshaped Europe with cannon fire and strategy. But history rarely asks a deeper question. Behind the grand portraits, behind the victories, there was a side of Napoleon that textbooks barely mention. An elderly East Asian man driven by insecurity. And a leader whose greatest enemy may not have been Europe, but himself. Tonight, we uncover the side of Napoleon history doesn't show. Napoleon was born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, a place that had only recently become part of France. To the French, he wasn't truly French. To Corsicans, he became a traitor. As a child, sent to mainland France for education. Napoleon was mocked relentlessly.
He spoke French with a heavy Corsican accent.
He was poor compared to other students. He was socially isolated.
Classmates called him the little savage from Corsica.
This rejection shaped him deeply. Napoleon became withdrawn. He read obsessively: history, warfare, mathematics. From an early age, he believed, if I cannot belong, I will dominate.
The boy died. The soldier was born.
Napoleon didn't just want power, he wanted absolute control. He micromanaged everything: military formations, government departments, even newspaper headlines. At one point, Paris had over 70 newspapers. Napoleon shut down all but 4.
And those 4? They printed exactly what he approved.
He once said, "A soldier will fight long and hard for a bit of colored ribbon." That ribbon became the Legion of Honor. A tool not of reward, but loyalty. Napoleon understood psychology better than most rulers of his time. Napoleon's relationship with Josephine reveals a side rarely discussed. He adored her, but he also distrusted her deeply. While on military campaigns, he sent letters filled with emotion.
Do not bathe. Do not see other men. Think only of me.
Josephine was unfaithful. Napoleon knew. Instead of confronting her, he grew more controlling, not just of her, but of everyone.
When she couldn't produce an heir,
Napoleon divorced her.
Not out of lack of love, but fear of losing power.
To Napoleon, personal relationships were secondary to legacy. Napoleon didn't just fight wars, he needed them.
Peace made him restless. War justified his authority.
Between 1799 and 1815, France was almost constantly at war. Napoleon believed war unified the nation, distracted the population.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, these cannons have to go. We want justice, we want.
But this addiction had a cost.
Millions died across Europe.
Entire regions were economically destroyed. Yet Napoleon rarely visited battlefields after the fighting. Numbers mattered more than bodies. In 1812, Napoleon made his fatal mistake. He invaded Russia with over 600,000 soldiers. Advisors warned him. The distances were too vast.
Winter was coming. Supply lines would collapse.
Napoleon ignored them. Why?
Because he had never truly lost before.
He believed his reputation alone could defeat reality.
But the Russians didn't fight. They retreated and burned everything.
Even Moscow was set aflame.
Then, the snow began to fall. The result.
Less than 100,000 soldiers returned.
The Grande Armée was shattered. This wasn't just a military failure. It was a psychological collapse.
He rushed back to Paris, leaving his freezing men behind.
It is fine to control the narrative before the truth arrived.
Napoleon carefully crafted his own image.
He hired painters to lie for him.
Make it grander. I must look heroic.
Make him look taller.
Depict him calm under fire.
Show him as destiny's chosen leader.
In reality,
He was of average height for the time.
He suffered from severe stomach illness.
He feared assassination constantly.
Napoleon didn't just rule France. He ruled the story told about him. And people believed the paintings over their own eyes.
But a story cannot hold back an army forever.
Europe finally united against him. The end came at Waterloo. His magic finally ran out. He surrendered to the British, hoping for mercy.
Instead, they sent him to the middle of nowhere.
St. Helena, a volcanic rock thousands of miles from land. After defeat, the man without power emerged.
Without armies or titles, something changed. He became bitter. He blamed everyone but himself.
Yet he also dictated memoirs, trying to control history one last time. He wanted the world to remember his greatness, not the cost. The man who ruled Europe was now arguing over garden walls.
France. Army. Josephine.
In his final moments, his mind went back to the start.
News of his death traveled slowly back to the world he once owned.
He left behind a mask, but the true face remained a mystery.
So who was Napoleon, really?
A revolutionary hero? Or a tyrant?
a genius, or a narcissist.
Truth is uncomfortable. He modernized Europe with the Napoleonic Code. He created a system where men rose by talent, not birth.
He built schools and reformed education.
He granted religious freedom when others didn't.
But this modernization had an immense human cost.
The same code that liberated men stripped rights from women.
And famously, he reinstated slavery in the French colonies.
For him, freedom was a tool, not a moral belief. He created the first modern police state.
Spies watched everyone, even his friends.
He inspired millions, but silenced millions more.
Unintentionally, his aggression birthed modern nationalism.
History shows us the legend.
He conquered the world because he felt small within it.
And perhaps that fear shaped the world more than ambition ever did.
Napoleon once said, "A man will die for a cause, but only if he believes in the story."
Napoleon believed in his story more than anyone.
And for centuries, so did we. His ashes returned to Paris, celebrated like a god.
Entombed in a monument built for giants.
Pop sound.
In the end, was it about France? Or just him?
Book Thud. If you enjoyed this deep dive, subscribe for more.